What if I said your divorce could be one of the very best things that ever happened to you? What would you think? Might make you mad, might make you happy. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment below. If I tell you your divorce may be one of the very best things that ever happened to you, tell me what you're thinking. I'm Evie with Happily Even After, and I help you live your very best life, even after you think yours has fallen apart. That's right. I thought mine had fallen apart years ago. It actually had, but what I found out was it wasn't the end of everything like I thought it was. It was actually the beginning to all sorts of brand new, wonderful things. And so that's what I want to encourage you with today. So you may think that divorce was the worst thing ever, or maybe you're in the middle of it, or maybe you just discovered infidelity. Maybe you've just been served papers. I'm not sure where you are in the process, of course, but I lived through and took the long route through separation and divorce and infidelity. I'd gotten it in my mind as a young girl that I wanted my marriage to work. And so I spent the rest of my young teenage years, young adult years, trying to figure out how to make my marriage work. I got married right outside of college, and I wanted it to be the best marriage ever. And I just knew I could make that happen. And so I read all the books. I did all the things that I thought I needed to do and all the things that the book suggested. And even still, my ex-husband, he had affairs. Well, so I was the kind of person that before he had the affairs, I thought, oh, if you ever do that, you're gone. It's over. Like there ain't no discussion. And then one day I came home from school. I was a teacher, came home on a lunch break. Teachers don't get lunch breaks, but I needed to get some sinus medicine, and I found my husband at home with another woman. Luckily, they were in the living room and not in the bedroom. But when I came home and found her in my home, I had no idea what was going on. I mean, I was in shock. We had been married 7 years. That morning before he left, I was like, I love you more. He's like, I love you most. I love you more. Mostest. We did this whole thing. And I thought I had the best marriage. I thought my husband loved me, and there's no way he would even look at another woman. Well, that wasn't the case, was it? So when I came home at lunch and I only had minutes, I had to get back to teach my class. I was a 3rd grade teacher. I was thrown for a loop. I mean, clearly my life and world was turned upside down. And so what I thought I had that morning when I left for work, when I came home at noon, it clearly wasn't what I thought it was. And so all I could think afterward was, I still love him because I loved him this morning. So like this happened, so I didn't stop loving him because I didn't even really know what had happened, because of course he lied. If you've been cheated on, you've been lied to, you know, it's a package deal. So we went to a counselor. He said we could make things work. My husband didn't leave. I didn't want it to end because here I am like, no, I've got to fix this. I've got to make this marriage work. There's only one marriage, one husband, one wife, me, him, and we will make it work. And this is just a little bump in the road. That's what I thought. So I went to read my books, all my books, more books, new books. And then again, about 10 years later, 3 kids and 10 years later, another affair. And then I don't know how many more years later, 5 or 6 more years later, another affair. And so I thought, there's no way this can be over. I've got to make it work. And I was so wrong. I was so wrong. And I tried and I tried and I tried. So I have a word for you. If you're out there and you're in a relationship and you're trying, like white knuckle trying to make it work, it's time to let go. It's already over. When two people are in a relationship, you have two people working toward better days, right? One person working toward better days can't get there together. He didn't want to work on better days with me. He wanted to work on better days with her or her or her or her or her or whoever the next her was. He gave me hope. And I held on to it. But I want you to learn from me. I want to be able to help you because I learned a lot. I could say to you that all of that time was wasted time, because now when I look back, it's like, gee whiz, what a waste. But it wasn't, because it was what it took to make me the very best me, to change me. And it really did change me. It really changed who I was. So I didn't come out of that marriage and that divorce the same person. I came out a better person. So if you're in the middle of this and you're going through infidelity or through a divorce, let the goal be to come out better. That's my encouragement to you. So then the rest of my encouragement is, it is the end of one relationship. It's not the end of every single relationship you'll ever have. And what if the next relationship you have is way better than that one? Now, does that negate what happened in your marriage? No. Does that negate the good times? Does that negate the children that came from it? No, absolutely not. But here's the thing. All of that happened in your previous marriage, your previous relationship, it was all a gift. The good things, they were a gift of love, and the bad things were a gift to learn a lesson. That's right. All the things that I went through, I learned lessons. So I want to encourage you to look at your relationship that's ending or has ended and look for the gifts that it did bring. And then know that on your next relationship, more gifts will be delivered. Most likely they'll be better. So even though it seems like the end, because it is, and there is a grief process. So don't get me wrong about that. There is a grief process. But it's the beginning of something beautiful. It's the beginning of something new. It's the beginning of something fresh. If you've loved before, you can love again. But in my opinion, it'll be stronger and more intense than ever before, because you know how, because you've learned. Don't let that old rotten relationship rob you or ruin you from finding out what's up ahead, because I truly believe that breakup and that divorce, it didn't happen to you, it happened for you. And so I do believe that your divorce can be one of the very best things that happened to you. And I don't mean that disrespectful. I just mean it because I didn't think as a younger person that divorce could be okay. And it led me to lead a life of bondage for a long time, to be trapped. And like I said, I learned a lot from it. So it's okay. It's my journey, but I'm here to help you get over your divorce sooner, or maybe end that toxic relationship or the bad relationship sooner. because there's no need to hold on if it's bringing you heartache and pain. So I'm here to tell you that even though my ex-husband did have affairs and it was brutally, brutally painful, excruciatingly painful, tremendously painful. And I spent years, and I mean years, crying and wishing and hoping and praying and begging that he'd come back. But he didn't. And now I'm so thankful. I really am. I'm not bitter. I'm not resentful. No, I'm happy. I'm happy that he didn't come back. I'm happy that I didn't get what I wanted. And so I'm here to tell you, if you're begging and wishing and hoping for that past relationship, that husband, that old boyfriend to come back, and they're not, it's a gift. It's a gift. Think about the love you shared with them, only for a second, because I don't want you to get stuck there. But just know that there's better than that up ahead. Doesn't negate that one, doesn't make that lesser, just makes the new one better and bigger and more intense. Let that be the case. So I encourage you to change the way you look at things, because when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. So I'm going to stop for now, but I would love your input in the comments. Tell me if you're going through a breakup, if you have been through a breakup, if you think it's a bad thing or a good thing, because we all have our opinions and yours are fine and it's where you are right now. And I completely understand. If you'd have told me years ago that I would think my divorce was a good thing, I would have thought you were crazy and wrong and a liar and all those other things. But now I'm here to tell you and encourage you that there are good days ahead. There are great days ahead. There are better days ahead. If you're still living and still breathing, there are great days ahead for you. And so please hit the like button. If you know anybody who can benefit from this, please share the video. Follow me, be a subscriber, and check out my other videos. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.